Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back with another live stream of Hearthstone. Today is December 22nd, Friday. We're over on the Asian account now. We really haven't finished any of the daily quests, and we need to get all three of them done, but a lot of that's going to be done in the post-show, I can guarantee it. For this one, we need 5 victories with the Druid and Hunter, 5 victories with the Paladin and Warrior, and 2 victories with the Druid and Rogue. So we have an overlap of Druid. That's where we start. We've already done the Tavern Brawl. Just double check. And it might not be a terrible idea to try to use the Tavern Brawl to get more victories, but we'll start with just regular things. We'll see custom Druid. Hopefully this is a win Druid deck. I have a couple of custom druids, so let's see what happens. So the Steam Award nominees for the winner are listed. You need to go to the Steam website every day and vote on one of the nominees to get a trading card, and I didn't realize that, so I already missed the Choices Matter award yesterday, and I guess everybody else has too if you haven't done it. But today was the Mom's Spaghetti Award. The nominees for the Choices Matter Award, I'll skip the descriptions of what those awards mean because they're long, complicated, and confusing. But the nominations were The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt, Divinity Original Sin 2, Life is Strange Before the Storm, The Walking Dead: A New Frontier, and Dishonored 2. Honestly, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt will probably win. The Walking Dead: A New Frontier might deserve to win more, but just name recognition and popularity might give it to The Witcher. The Mom's Spaghetti Award was the one today. Your options were PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, Outlast 2, Resident Evil 7, The Evil Within 2, and Alien Isolation. I voted for Resident Evil 7. It was supposed to be scary games. Tomorrow is the Labor of Love Award, with the choices being Team Fortress 2, Warframe, Titan Quest Anniversary Edition, Path of Exile, and Crusader Kings. I think probably Team Fortress 2 will win for popularity, since all of these really just do boil down to popularity contests. Next is the Suspension of Disbelief Award. The options were Saints Row 4, Goat Simulator, South Park, The Fractured Butthole, Rocket League, and Wolfenstein: The New Colossus. I don't know why you would put Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus in the Suspension of Disbelief Award. But whatever. Saints Row 4 looks like a good chance. Goat Simulator looks like a good chance. South Park has a good chance too. I don't know why Rocket League's in there either. Some odd choices there. This Druid deck is clearly designed to play 5 mana and more minions. We'll see if this ends up with getting me a victory though. The next is The World is Grim Enough, Let's Just All Get Along. And the options were Stardew Valley, City Skylines, Slime Rancher, Abzu, and To the Moon. I wouldn't be surprised if Slime Rancher, maybe even City Skylines or Stardew Valley win. I'm not sure enough people played To the Moon. Let's see, let's look at the chat. Tyler says, hey again. Like, Tyler keeps thinking I'm leaving every time I end the episode. But when I don't leave like that anymore, I go to the post show first, and then at the end of the post show I will say that's it for the day in the comments, and then move the mouse down there so people know. Hey, one of my nominations I think made it in here. The No Apology Award is the next one, and for the No Apologies choice, there is Rust, Mountain Blade, Honey Pop, Gothic 2 Gold Edition and The Witcher Enhanced Edition. And wouldn't you know it, one of the ones I nominated was Honey Pop. So I assume a lot of other people picked it, picked Honey Pop too, or the people who picked from all of the nominations thought that was a funny joke, so they put it in there. I'd like to see Honey Pop actually win this, because if Steam has to actually give some credibility to a sex game, then that might be the beginning of them rethinking how they run their censorship in their store, and how some of it is acceptable and some of it isn't. Honey Pop, of course, is still mostly a Western game, to my understanding, that just kind of looks like a Japanese sex game, whereas they're still pretty quick to kick out the Japanese ones. Some with good reason, some without. I don't know why you would need to apologize for playing Rust, other than you start out naked, and or Mountain Blade, I don't know what even happens there. Gothic 2, I don't know what happens there. And I think The Witcher does have some sex options in the game, but it's hardly the main focus of the game. The next award is the Defies Description Award, and the options are Gary's Mod, The Stanley Parable, Pony Island, Antechamber, and Doki Doki Literature Club. I wouldn't be surprised if Doki Doki Literature Club wins that. Pony Island also is a good choice. Antechamber is difficult to describe, but it's not defying description. Stanley Parable in a similar way. I may have nominated the Stanley Parable for that. Generally, my nominations don't even make it into the final run. For the past couple of years, this has been happening. Next is the Cry Havoc and Let Slip the Dogs of War. The options are Just Cause 3, Total War Warhammer 2, Broforce, Red Faction Guerrilla, Steam Edition. No, let's not play this. Let's play this Druid instead. Might have a better chance of winning. And then Middle-earth Shadow of War. Not Shadow of War 2. Which just goes to show nobody's liking Shadow of War 2. I could see Middle-earth Shadow of War winning. And does that send the right message to the creators of Middle-earth Shadow of War to say, we liked the original game, we hated the sequel, go back to the original concept and take out all the microtransactions? Maybe that'll work, maybe it won't. The next award is the Haunts My Dream Award. The options are Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Dota 2, Dark Souls 3, Factorio, and Sid Meier's Civilization 6. Most of those games don't seem like they would be scary games. Let's see what the description says. This award is slightly a misnomer because the game doesn't just haunt your dreams. It consumes your thoughts every waking moment of the day. This game doesn't demand your time. You give it willingly. So it's an award more focused around time, the commitment. So in my instance, Hearthstone would be the game that haunts my dreams because I spend so much time on it. Next award is the Soul of the Virtuous Award. Vitruvius Award. The Vitruvian Man is the guy, the naked man in that Leonardo da Vinci sketch, where with the arms outstretched and he has two sets of arms and two sets of legs. Let's go ahead and play this. And let's go ahead and play this. And then the turn. Let's see. Celebrate games with the most lovingly rendered character. So this is best looking character in the game. The options are Nier Automata, 2B I assume, although maybe not. Deal 1 damage and draw a card. Rise of the Tomb Raider. In Rise of the Tomb Raider, Lara Croft looks fine, but she doesn't look amazing. And she's in mostly very bulky snow gear in all the outfits. So it's not like you're even seeing too much of her body being animated. It's mostly just her hair and her face. And then they do the thing where she gets dirty and bloody halfway through the game. So I don't know why that one would really deserve the win. But it might. Hellblade Susuna's Sacrifice, I think that is a much better choice for characters being animated. I Am Bread, honestly, I don't think the bread in I Am Bread is animated that uniquely. And then Bayonetta. I may have thrown Bayonetta in as a pick too. I mean, I'm starting to wonder if very few people even voted in this year's awards. People just decided it wasn't worth their time, which honestly it probably wasn't. So if you're gonna pick Bayonetta, I think you might pick the character from, or whatever characters from Nier Automata. So maybe I'd say probably Nier Automata wins this one. Hellblade Susuna's Sacrifice has a chance, but I would also want to give Bayonetta some love in that. And I'm not sure exactly where I'd come down on that choice. The next award is the Whoa Dude 2.0 award. The options are Hotline Miami, Luna, Antichamber, CPU Invaders, and The Evil Within 2. Random guess as far as who wins that one. Next is the Best Soundtrack Award. The options are Nier Automata, Crypt of the Necrodancers, Undertale, Cuphead, and Transistor. Some of these games do not feel like they came out this year. They just don't. Man, no excess mana. I was hoping to draw a card. Yeah, I have no idea. Let's see what's happening on the chat. Tyler said something, then he retracted it, and then he posted a bunch of emojis and YouTube stopped it from being displayed. Says I'm a meme man. 100, 100, 100. And he goes, sorry, just bored. Yep, I know the feeling. Certainly. Playing Hearthstone can be boring. Oops, forgot to attack. Next one we have Even Better Than I Expected award. The options are Assassin's Creed Origins, Cuphead, Call of Duty World War II, Hollow Knight, and Sonic Mania. I'll just say probably Cuphead wins that on a popularity contest. Let's move on. Skip that article. So I believe Mark Hamill is the guy who plays Luke in the Star Wars series. If I'm wrong about this, then, well, I guess I'm wrong. But he's also been hired, to work in the single-player spin-off of the game of Star Citizen called Squadron 42. And so there's a video on PC Gamer called, the article's called Watch Mark Hamill Act Like a Jerk in the New Squadron 42 single-player cinematic. Like, of course they didn't digitally de-age him or anything, so he just looks like the old man that he is now. So there really isn't too much to the video at all. So this really is just advertising for Squadron 42 and Star Citizen, which I'm not 100% sure anybody should get into. Let's do this. Let's see. Mad Cat says may come back from the dead. Short video was released today teasing that someone is back in the game. Now from my experience, I don't recall there ever being a Mad Catz peripheral that was so good and so awesome that you wanted it. Seems like they're just gonna sell keyboard and mice anyways. And I've never really gotten deep into those type of peripherals. Instead, I would much prefer to just get a steering wheel or maybe some, I don't know, what else would I even want? No, like a steering wheel for driving games is about the only peripheral I'd even be willing to take. My keyboard, my mouse, it's just some basic wireless Logitech things. They work fine for me. I'm not a pro gamer. Maybe I would take one of those left-handed gaming keyboards where the WASD is moved around and you could put some function keys on that. But the crazier I go as far as peripherals, the less of a normal experience I'm having, and then the less likely my reviews make any sense or have any relevance to people. If I tell everybody that they have to have this Mad Catz left-handed gaming computer keyboard before they can have the same experience that they see me having, that's not very helpful. Let's see, a lot of chat popped up. A new guy, Jimmy, came on the chat, says Druid is hard. Tyler said, what's up? Just playing a ranked match for Druid before dinner, says Jimmy. Really? He is in Citizen, really? Well, he's not in Star Citizen. He's in this single player spin-off, apparently, called Squadron 42. So he's sorta, but not really. I imagine for as old as he looks, he won't be working for too much longer. Why him? Because they've gotten it, a lot of people who make games have gotten into hiring famous names to be mocap and voice actors for video games for that name recognition. And then often it comes about that the person they hire, who is a decent actor in front of the camera for film and TV, is actually completely the wrong type of person for doing mocap work or video game work. It happens a lot more in anime than in video games because there's a slightly different system you have to use. But famous people will get hired to do anime and they just cannot do it the way it needs to be done because the animation in anime, the lip flaps are already animated, so you have to say a sentence in a specific time that was originally spoken in Japanese that takes less time to say Japanese sentences than English sentences. That's why a lot of animes have that typical rushed talking mile a minute style, is because they're literally trying to squeeze a very complex idea in the English language, which takes lots of words, from being the Japanese language, which takes a lot less words. But we've seen it also in Telltale games. The Telltale Game of Thrones game had the one of the major actors come in, and he did literally nothing for the role to improve the game or give a great performance. I think the same guy also was in Destiny 1 as a character, and then they took him out and replaced him with a regular voice actor, video game voice actor, because they didn't like his performance. So it's mostly for name recognition, though. And Star Citizen is weird because it's getting a lot of money to work on this game that's has a high chance of never being finished, and he's spending a lot of money too on things that are arguably the wrong decisions. Well, I can't do anything now. Cuphead, by the way, next article, has broken 2 million copies sold, half of them on Steam. So Cuphead is a success. Compare that to the recent announcement that the Nintendo Switch has sold over, I think, 1 million units of the hardware in Japan. So for every Switch in Japan, there are 2 copies of Cuphead floating around. I don't know if that's the greatest comparisons ever, but that's how it is. Let's see, do I want to take damage? Not particularly. Jimmy says you might need less spells. Yes, my agent account here, very limited decks. I need to rebuild them next time I think about it. Probably after this game, I'll come back here and see if I can build something that actually wins a little bit better. This is a very new account, so it's only maybe 4 months old, so there's not a lot of options I have. Next article, Super Robot Wars X120 plus screenshots. I hate when they write sentences like this. The name of the game is Super Robot Wars X. They have 120 plus screenshots available for anybody that's interested. I am not, so I'm closing that. Let's see. Charge. Attack. Enter. According to PC Games In, which is a new website to me, PC accounted for 28% of the game market in 2017. So, if you think about it, that's slightly odd, because that means if you gave 33% to PlayStation 4 and 33% to Xbox One, then 28% to PCs, that doesn't leave but a few percentage points for the Nintendo Switch, and that clearly can't be the case. So I need to dig deeper and see what they mean by this, because it must be that PC versus console versus arcades. or something. Yeah, I don't know if this is even a real article worth talking about. They're not explaining anything. Their website is clicking on to different links. This is literally just clickbait, I think. Yeah. I don't see how you say PC gamers are 28% of the market unless it's PC games versus console games versus arcade games or something. Versus cell phone games. Like some really unimportant statistic that doesn't really mean anything. Blizzard apparently changed how characters move on the Overwatch PTR. What is PTR? They just keep calling it the PTR. Changes in how characters get about on the ground also makes them more manageable in the air. Movement on the ground is much more consistent. Going up and down inclines will no longer affect the hero's speed. Previously, inclines could make you either slightly faster or slightly slower depending on the circumstances. So it seems like a tiny change that will be felt by the pro Blizzard Overwatch players, but not probably too many other people. Let's keep playing here. This is I'm playing this like a hunter deck where you're just trading in minion for minion, and it's clearly not succeeding that against a hunter because he's got better minions and better beasts than what I have. Alright, let's skip over the job applications. The best video game music of 2017 according to Kotaku. I don't read a lot of Kotaku's articles. I don't follow them, but I don't like them. But in this case, I'll just quickly go through their list. Nier Automata, Cuphead, Super Mario Odyssey. Alright. There's at least one song in Super Mario Odyssey that deserves mention. Legends of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I just watched The Angry Video Game Nerd. I was watching a bunch of his videos. And I watched the CDI games for Zelda. There was 3 terrible CDI, Philips CDI games. And one of them you play Zelda, and the concept of the game didn't look bad. The implementation was awful, and it reminded me, I suppose, or made me realize for probably the first time, it's like there really is no Zelda game out there anywhere where we play as Zelda, and like she's the main character. You get to play as her. I think part of the problem is it sidelines Link, and they don't want to do that. But even when you're talking like the 4 swords, where there's 4 Link-like characters, that none of which are actually Link, none of those are Zelda. We desperately need a game where it's like a 2-player co-op, or 1 player and Zelda follows you and you can switch between characters. Let's see what we can do. First, disenchant this for dust. crafting, and then missing. And then switch to classic and see if we can find any neutral classic cards we can make with dust. There we go. We'll craft that. And we'll craft that. And I think that puts us at such low dust we can't do anything. So we're done with crafting. Get rid of custom druid. We need a druid that wins. What can we do? Toad said, wow, Blizzard, we care. Let's see. I'm listed at the wrong list here. Deal 1 damage equal to the hero's attack. Choose one. So it's probably not too bad a choice. That might work. That might work. Extra mana crystals. That might work. So you may take note here, I am not... Oh, I'm looking at missing things. Why did I do that? Well, whatever. Not doing great. Claw, 1 damage for 0. Naturalize. Gain 2. This one, this one. Maybe I should get some more beasts in there. Savage Roar. Swipes. I think this is probably just proving that I prefer spells over anything else. Yeah, I'll take those two. Like, I still ended up putting a significant number of spells in that deck from my pick. But the other problem is, quite simply, I just don't have the time to rebuild decks on these other accounts and spend time on that. Let's see, Best of Music of Kotaku 2017, Splatoon 2, also Destiny 2, Persona 5. Did Destiny 2 really have good music? Night in the Woods, Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, Xenoblade Chronicles, Pyre, Total War Warhammer, Final Fantasy 14 Stormblood, Hollow Knight, Danganronpa 3 Volume 3 Killing Harmony. Danganronpa, another game I believe I was considering purchasing on the Steam sale, just a little too expensive. And this link to a video is just their music. Yakuza 0, ARMS. So, no crazy picks there. I'll give them that. Those seem like very legitimate choices for best music of 2017. Alright. So, I think what I want to do is see how much time is remaining. About 10 minutes before we've done another 45 minutes for this recording. I just want to quickly run through the job listings here and not do what I was doing before, where I was reading all the things. I'll just point out the things that look really crazy as far as job listings. A lot of people hiring right now, I guess, because they want to start them on payroll as quickly as possible. Or maybe they're putting out applications now and then they won't respond to any application until next year. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case too. Like, it probably sucks even more looking for a job around the end of the year, Christmas, because people who need a job right then need it ASAP, and they probably not too many people want to work during those times. Let's do this, and then this. Ubisoft has, for the Ubisoft Club, has a web developer. If you are in Montreal, Canada, it's a full-time job. Skipping over all of the things. It's the people that work on Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Rainbow Six, and Watch Dogs, but you'd just be running the web development, the website, for them, which is not so much about video games. Required experience, master development in the JavaScript frameworks or JS frameworks, AngularJS, jQuery, etc., and haven't heard of any of this. So clearly I'm not qualified for this job. Strong experience in development on Ajax-based web applications. Like, I don't think they're using the right software here. Ability to evolve UI designs into a standard compliant HTML template. Experience in RESTful API consumption. And it's RESTful, R-E-S-T, capitalized, lowercase, F-U-L, one word. That might be... That's some kind of API I've never heard of. Knowledge in application profiling, optimization, and debugging. Ability to excel under pressure. That one stands out as the worst one. Like, they're telling you straight up, this is going to be a sucky job and you're going to be overly pressured. And at Ubisoft, that's probably the case for most of the employees. And you need to be organized, meticulous, and a critical thinker. All things you should always have on your resume. Bachelor's degree in computer science, software engineer or equivalent needed. Optional skills, C++, C#, and Java experience, none of which has to do with web development. Experience in creating applications for mobile devices and gaming consoles, that is not a web developer. They want you to do two jobs here. Knowledge in CSS pre-processing languages such as SAS, SASS, which I've never heard of that. Practical experience with JavaScript test suites such as Karma, Jasmine, never heard of that. Knowledge of package managers such as NPM. I kind of know NPM. That's a Linux package manager. Why you need to know that, I don't know. Experience with task managers such as Grunt and Gulp, never heard of them. Experience using Google Analytics and online tracking techniques. Knowledge of illustrating applications such as Photoshop. Photoshop actually shouldn't be an optional skill there, because clearly this is more than they just want you to make a website. They want you to make a website that is running games on it. Born to be wild. So, yeah. If you're in Montreal, Canada, and you want to work for Ubisoft, why you would, I have no idea, but that job is there. Let me look at the chat. I haven't looked at it. Tyler goes, make a spotlight on Roblox. Just kidding. Yeah, that's, I don't believe, one in the wish list. That's one of those games that I would only play if I was just chasing after what other streamers were playing, and Yeah, that's not gonna work. But that could be interesting. I don't think I'm gonna be playing anything that looks too much like Minecraft for a long time. Let's see. Let's see. Next job listing. Bandai Namco Studios in Vancouver is hiring a lead software engineer. Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Define product and technical specifications with producers, game designers, and other engineers. Design, build, and test entire game systems and support other engineers. I may have covered a lead software engineer from a different company because this looks very much like the same type of thing. Let's see. Being a lead programmer, 7+ years of professional experience with at least 3 shipped mobile console PC titles. This is top of the line programmer stuff. You gotta be the best of the best to get this one. Which I imagine somebody who could get this job is probably not listening to my YouTube stream, but whatever. Let's see. Being a tech enthusiast is a qualification, apparently. There's nothing too crazy about this job listing, honestly. One of the requirements is problem solving skills and strong sense of ownership. Things that you would put in there: self-motivated, strong work ethic, ability to work independently. Just some very basic things you put in any job listing at all. So Bandai Namco looking for somebody. I don't know what games you're really doing at Bandai Namco, though. Are you translating some Japanese Bandai game to English? Or are you making some kind of old Pac-Man game? Or a new Pac-Man game? Like, yeah, I have more interest, I suppose, in can I search Bandai Namco Studios Vancouver and let's see what games they've released even. Apparently I can do that. I'm kind of surprised. It takes me to Worldwide Mobile Entertainment. Their first game is Taken for iOS and Google Play. Their next game is Tap My Katamari for iOS and Google Play. And their third game is Pac-Man 256, which that's recognizable. And then their fourth game is Pac-Man Bounce. So you're making a bunch of cell phone games. And they don't even mention that, really, in this job description. So it's always important to do some more research. I guess one of these lines does say expert knowledge in iOS, Objective-C, and Android Java. So that clearly is going to be part of what you're doing, if not all. And when I play this, it doesn't give me any excess mana. Let's see. Cryptic Studios is a company I've never heard of. They are hiring a senior producer. They're in Los Gatos, California. At least it's not directly in the middle of San Francisco. Let's see if there's anything too useful here or too interesting about these senior jobs. They're much more consistent than the low-level jobs. Like, must have 5 years in the video game industry, working in production or product development, must have shipped at least one video game title, which I imagine there's probably a glut of people who've worked in the video game industry many years and never shipped a game because they just got canceled. Superb communication skills seems normal. Passion for games and the ability to talk about why you think they are fun. That should be in more job listings for video game people. Be able to talk art, design, and software without pretending. That's an odd way of phrasing that. You could rephrase that really easily by just saying be knowledgeable about art, design, and software. Have a great attitude and likely personality. So there's somebody that was in this job that the hiring manager at least felt like was pretending to know things that they didn't know about. So let me do a quick search of Cryptic Studios and see what games they've made. It's strange that they don't list the big name games that they've worked on half of these things. So Dungeons and Dragons Neverwinter seems to be... Is that the only game? Or is their website just garbage? Star Trek Online for Xbox, PlayStation, and Windows. Champions Online. I wouldn't be surprised if Star Trek Online, they lose the license to that. And then Magic the Gathering. Small company it seems like, but a big name company too, because they're getting some contracts for some big name things. So I wouldn't be immediately turned off to applying to a job like this for Cryptic Software, but again, this is a senior producer job, so you have to really own it. And Activision Careers is the next one. And while that's loading, I'll load up the Endemic Creations. Endemic Creations, I can tell you straight off the top, they made Plague Inc., a series I covered for quite a long time. They want a senior game developer and a programmer and a senior game designer, in which they have immediate vacancies. So that's crazy because I thought this was a like one person company, but maybe they're growing, or maybe the guy who made Plague Inc. just wants to get out of the business. I don't think so though. He seems to really enjoy it. Endemic Creations is in the Bristol, UK. They pay above London market salaries, and we have a 4-day work week according to this. They take Fridays off. So if you want to be if you're in Bristol, UK, or can work in Bristol, UK, you can be a senior game developer, programmer, a senior game designer. The paid internship is currently closed, and the game partnership for financial design and publishing, there's a contact number. Let's see, let's open the two listings to see if there's anything crazy about the job listings themselves. Let's see. They're in PDF format. Interesting. Why would you have your job listing in PDF format? It's not like somebody can't copy and paste that out if they wanted to. That's an odd. one of the long-term activities is work with the lead designer on an unannounced title, so we get a little bit of a hint that there will be a new game from the creator of Plague Inc. I hope it's something a little different. It'd be a little boring if it's just Plague Inc. 2. Or something similar. Probably is. Something different if I was to guess. Relocation assistance to Bristol. If you want it. There's a flat organization structure. And there's significant room for career growth. How can there be room for career growth if it's a flat organization structure? Like, that doesn't make a lot of sense. Those two sentences pretty much contradict each other. And then senior game developer, as far as the job listing, seems like this designer, senior game developer, is more about putting games on the phone. Let's see. They're talking specifically how strong C++ and Objective-C knowledge is a plus because Plague Inc. does not use ARC. C++ is mostly pre-compiled to C++11. We only just dropped iOS 6 support. So what that means is that Plague Inc. is probably in the need to be updated. If I was to guess, on the cell phone versions. There's some things here that I don't recognize as far as programming languages, but I think they're cell phone programming languages, and that might be the reason. Like, comfortable using the Xcode interface builder, never heard of that. Of course, being only trained in programming a long time ago, it really doesn't surprise me that I don't know modern languages and modern interface programs. But yeah, nothing there. And now I'm on the Humble store, and I'm looking at the Jingle Cast Humble Bundle, and there's some new games, and still none of them really strike me as worth the, I think, $35 you have to pay for this bundle. This just doesn't seem like a good bundle deal. Like, when there's just so little name recognition. Let's see. I'm trying to pull up and see if there's any new bundles. I don't know why a new bundle would start this close to Christmas, but yep, every time I see this Manga Gamer and Friends bundle, I'm still tempted to buy it. I could never cover any of the games because of the YouTube adpocalypse, but I'm still tempted to buy it because of that, the adpocalypse, and the fact that they probably just have no voice acting, and it would just be a mess. Just end the turn. Let's come back to Twitter and see if there's been any new news. Well, I suppose even if there is news, I can just save that for Monday. I doubt too much is going to happen over the weekend before Christmas. So, restore 5 health. I'm certainly not succeeding here. As far as getting victories on the daily quests. There's going to be a lot of post-show play. Alright, so I'm going to just talk about Kama Sutra in particular lets people put blogs on their website and features them. So here's somebody who's writing a blog about whether Angry Birds 2 proves that players are more maturing and more of the casual player is now moving up to this midpoint between being casual and mid-core versus hardcore. And so now there's this casualized mid-core style of players that they think they see. I'm not sure that's exactly true or not, and I'm pretty sure if I was to argue, Angry Birds 2 is probably the worst sampler game to play that on. You're gonna have to get a lot of people to play something like Cuphead first. Let's see if this is. There's an announcement about a speech that's going to be done at GDC 2018, so that's not even really news. Let's see, there's a GDC video on Kama Sutra called a practical game dev guide for doing ethical play testing. What's the difference between ethical and unethical play testing, and what does ethical play tester require? I have no idea what they're even trying to get at that. Like, how can you be an unethical play tester? Do you cheat? Do you lie to the employee about your experience? What makes it an unethical playtest? I guess I'd have to watch the video if I really wanted to know, but it's not worth my time, so I'll just leave that. Let's see, well, I'll just leave this. Activision Blizzard is hiring some jobs, and the link I clicked on just took me to their main website. So if you're interested in working for Activision Blizzard, creators of Hearthstone and World of Warcraft, and you think you have some programming skill, then there might be a job for you. So go seek that out. Or better, don't work in the video game industry and actually have a life and get paid a lot better. Kama Sutra also has this article. One of the first LGBTQ video games has been restored. It's called Caper and the Castro, and it was one of the first ever, if not the first, LGBTQ themed video games. Is now playable through the internet archives. Point and click mystery was developed by CM Ralph back in 1989. It was distributed by BBS and was released as charityware, where Ralph asked players to donate to an AIDS charity of their choice. Many had thought the Macintosh HyperCard title had been lost for good, but thankfully it's been recovered thanks to work of preservationists. The game itself sees players assume the role of a lesbian private detective called Tracker McDyke, real nice name there, who's been tasked with solving a mystery of a kidnapped drag queen, TZ LaFemme. The case eventually takes McDyke to Castro Street, where she learns about LaFemme's curious disappearance and begins to see how just deep the rabbit hole goes. So, with that description, maybe this does include every bit of the alphabet soup, but I don't know. Like, I was expecting that. And I guess maybe I came in here with a bias where it was going to be a game that just happened to have a lesbian in it at some rare point. Or a gay man in it at some point, and they were just wrapping that one character in to the whole lesbian, gays, bisexuals, transgenders, and questioning group, which is kind of what that whole letter is all about, is that one thing is now kind of means the whole thing, and it's getting crazy. Too many letters, too many different things. I prefer distinct descriptors. If it's a game about a lesbian, I'd prefer you just say it's a game about a lesbian. Here in this description, it seems like a lesbian and a cross-dresser, which cross-dressers are not even covered unless you claim all cross-dressers are questioning their sexuality, which isn't accurate. And that's why I left that article at the end, because I didn't want to get into a rant on it, and I still don't want to get into a rant on it. And now as we finish up this game, that'll be the end of this stream, and we'll go into the post-show. Tyler says bye, gotta go. Bye, Tyler. Thanks for watching, of course. Destroy the opponent, give 2 cards. Can I get this up? Yes, I can. I desperately need to remove one of these cards in this deck that I can't attack unless I have 3 armor. Somebody here on my Twitter is giving away 12 months of Xbox Live as a contest if you retweet them. What a terrible contest. Scrolling down my Twitter account just to see if there's anything new to play. Let's go ahead and kill this. Darn it. People still getting a lot of flags for inappropriate content. I'm still getting a lot of that too. It seems not to be hitting me as hard as other people, but like The Evil Within will be a good test when I start uploading those videos to see if they even have a chance of making any money at all, just because of the word evil in the name. Like, Valve News Network is particularly complaining a lot about it. It would be a real shame if the guy who runs Valve News Network couldn't get over his frustration with YouTube and just continue doing what he's doing, because he actually seems like a decent reporter. Like, he seems like he really does do better work and better research than most YouTubers, including myself. And it would really suck if he left the industry, but he might go on to do a lot better things. Well, I think we are good as far as news, and we're nowhere close to good as far as victories. We need let's see, Paladin and Warrior victories. That's going to be it for this recording. Stay tuned for the post show. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.